Good morning students. We come to the end of the session. Today it's the last class for your classes and objects. In classes and objects, we are using object also a function parameters in the classes. So that means we are taking a object as a function parameters. That means if any function is there, when we are invoking object dot that function name, if you have any argument, just we are invoking like this. And if you are invoking a function with an argument, function name, argument 1, argument 2. If we n number of arguments, define it. Suppose if you are giving, that also can also possible to invoke a function name with the value 1, that is any value directly we can invoke. There are three methods that we can do invoking a function call. When the object is created, we are invoking a function call along with the object name. But here we are invoking a function as an object as a parameter. This particular object is a parameter we need to take it. How we can create? We can create, this is a object 1 and this is a object 2. While creating a object 3, we are passing a function parameter as an object obj1, obj2. That means this particular function, which function? Object 3. We are invoking the function name along with the object as an argument. That we are going to discuss today. That means there are two methods to invoke the function. One I have told, that is pass by value. That means directly you can give the value. Instead of sending any argument, this is your call by value. That means instead of giving the object name, we are invoking with the either with the argument, that is A and B. AB contains the value. Otherwise, directly you can give instead of the variable 10 and 20. That is your call by value method. Do you remember when the function call invoke, control transferred from calling function to called function? While passing these arguments, whatever we invoke the method, that is called as call by value method. Those arguments are called as actual arguments. Do you remember? Actual argument. We are performing the operation on those copied values present in the formal argument. Formal argument. When we invoke the function with the call, that is a call by value or pass by value method, formal parameters will create its own copy of the value. Its own copy of the value. Whatever the operation gets performed in the function, once the function task is completed, control will back from the calling function to called function. That time your formal parameter values gets erased. Those values will not affect to the actual argument. Actual argument, that is the concept of pass by value. That means when the function gets invoked, actual argument values will be copied into the formal argument. Formal arguments will create its own copy of the values. Those values will not be affected to the original actual value. Original values will be remains same. In the function, any changes made by the formal argument will not be reflected to the actual argument from the formal argument, that is your call by value. Original values will be remains same. It will never gets affected by the formal arguments for the actual arguments. Then in the call by reference is nothing but address. Instead of sending the value, we are sending the value address. In call by reference, your formal arguments will never create its own copy of the variable. Instead of that, it will take the value directly from the actual argument through the address which is given. The changes made in the program for the formal arguments will directly affected to the actual argument. That is your pass by reference. The values will not change for actual arguments. It remains the same, but here actual arguments gets modified by formal arguments through the address. Where we are getting the address? We are getting the address through the object in the C++. In the last year, we are sending the address operator for the variable. Address operator along with the variable name. But here we are giving directly the object name. Object contains your data members and member functions. When we are using to invoke the function through the object, your internal structure of the object gets modified from the formal argument, original arguments, whatever we have been given for the actual values, that gets modified by the object. That is called your functions contains object as a parameter in the classes and objects. See here, I have written one program over here. A class, I am taking a addition of two complex numbers. That is, one is a real number and the one is imaginary number. So I have created one real variable and imaginary variable, and I am accepting the values for real and imaginary, and I am applying addition on your real numbers and imaginary numbers. How I am applying? I am creating an object here. I am creating an object. I am not taking directly as a real variable. I am taking the real variable along with its object name. See here. Object name dot data member. Object name dot data member plus object name dot data member. These two gets added and stored into the data member. The original values what we have been given, that gets modified by the object. That value just I am displaying. In front of the imaginary, plus will come. In the real, it will display as it is. When it is greater than 0, then only imaginary value will be displayed. If you are giving a negative value, it will do calculation for only real numbers, but not the imaginary numbers. Come here, two set of values I am taking, one for object 1 and another for object 2. First time object 1 dot real, object 1 dot imaginary. Similarly, object 2 dot real, object 2 dot imaginary value. Among addition will be performed on these two values. So once I take one set of value, another time I take another set of value, so that I am giving two different input function, one for C1, one for C2. While coming, it will take two value, one for real, one for imaginary. One for real, one for imaginary for the C1. Similarly, one for real, one for imaginary for the C2. So, two input functions have been invoked. Then it will apply the addition among these two. Addition among these two with a function name called sum. How it will take? The copy of the C1 will be copied into the C1. The copy of the C2 will contains the copied into the C2. See here, C1 contains how many values? One real value, one imaginary value. Real value will be copied here, imaginary value will be copied here. Then C2 with the real value will be copied in here and the imaginary will be copied here. Addition will be upon these two. Then we are displaying what is the first set, what is the second set, and what you will get the final output. For three different objects I have used output function. Okay students, this is about your objects used as a function parameters in classes and objects. And we left out with a small topic called that we have used in your program, that is arrays in classes. Arrays in class, that is array as a data member. Array used as a data member in a class. Data member in a class definition. In the class definition, I'll write the example for this. Class student with a private. I have declared two variables. Do you remember? Int s number and character s name of 20. That means this is the concept of arrays used in classes. Arrays used in classes. Did you got it? That means it is not only a normal variable, we can also use a user-defined derived data type called array also as a member in the class. Member in the class. Another one you can use for the int marks. Any kind of data member can be used based on the array as a data member in the class. Okay students, this much you need to prepare in your classes and objects. This finishes your classes and objects. Your classes and objects weightage is 1 mark, 1 question, 2 marks, no question, 3 marks, no question, 5 marks, 1 question. Totally 6 marks weightage will be there for your classes and object. So all 5 marks questions we have discussed. What is class, object, explain with a syntax and example. So the question different formats are there that I will give you in the PDF format. You just copy down and solve that particular assignment, you will come to know that. Then second question, second related question. So second possible question, what is access specifier? Explain any two access specifier. Otherwise they can give particularly which access specifier to explain. That is one set of question. So two different possibles. Then the third one is you are defining the member functions inside the class or outside the class. Both will not come. So either inside the class or outside the class. Among these three questions, which question? Class and object, access specifier, defining the member function. Among these three questions, one question is compulsory in your exam. Among these three, one question is compulsory from your final exam. So the way of asking the question may be different, but the answers are only these three. Did you got the students? So these are the three different possible questions possible for your final exam. Then all these three remaining things will be possible for 1 mark. What is class? What is object? What is data member? What is member function? What is access specifier? What are the access specifiers? Is it possible to define the member function outside the class? Yes with the public, no with the private and protected. That is one question is there. Then how to create your class or how to declare your class. Declaration is nothing but object. Definition is nothing but class. Please remember those words. Then what is array of object? Give the syntax of array of object. How to access the class members, or how to access the data member or member function. Generally you can explain, that is with the dot operator. So there are 12 questions in the textbook. Please thorough with all the 12 questions related to 1 mark. That also I will send you in the PDF format. Please try to solve the answer for all the 1 mark questions, and I'll send you your question papers, previous year question papers PDF format. That also try to solve with the assignment, students. So this is very important for 1 marks and 6 marks questions. Hope you understood everything. So once the classes gets open, so once again I am going to revise for you both the lab programs. Prepare for your practical purpose. So try to recollect every day the preparation of your lab programs, because we will not allow you to execute with seeing the textbook, your classwork. So definitely you need to execute the program without seeing. Please, terminations, comma, where you need to put the space, where you should not put the space, everything need to be noticed properly. Please take a little serious in the second year. It's a very important classes. Maybe from the September it is going to be start. Okay students, the day 1, the first day itself I am going to check your assignments and your classworks also. And if they have not yet opened in the September, definitely we are going to give one time slots for you to submit your classworks and assignments. Once the correction has been done, we will send a message to collect your books. Please remember, everything should be in the written format. No one should not bring your Xerox notes or assignments. Assignments should be completed with a date, specified date. I have everything copy when I have been sent the assignment. So with the date wise I am going to do the correction. It's compulsory. You need to write your notes and assignment with your own handwriting. Okay students, we'll meet in the next chapter, next class. Thank you students.